Hi, Matt here, and I'm about to do a bit of a water change on my aquarium. I'm at my office tank, and there's a lot of expensive coral in there, and they all require all these different types of minerals that float around in the water that feed them. And that means that your salt content is very important. I like to use a mixture of different salts, but Cove is definitely one of my favorites. Cove is a brand that has created a nitrate and phosphate-free brand of salt for your coral aquarium. As a matter of fact, I was able to photograph my coral. That's my coral that sits on the front. Now, the makeup of your salt is very important, but also how much you use. It's very critical that you don't go over or under the amount of salt that you mix with your RODI water that you end up putting in your tank. Be sure to follow the correct instructions and use an accurate salinity meter. Now, this is a salinity tester that's very inexpensive. It's float style, but I'll tell you what, I just learned recently that they're a little bit inaccurate, and they can go even more inaccurate over time. As a matter of fact, I was working on a tank recently where my float salinity meter was reading 1.024, but when tested with a refractometer meter, it was 1.03, a very unhealthy environment for fish and coral alike. So make sure that you invest in a proper salinity meter to tell you exactly how much salt you need to mix with your water. Now be sure that when you mix your salt, you use an external container. You don't want to put raw, dry salt into your aquarium system without dissolving it, making sure that the salinity is correct, and then slowly, gradually putting it in, as well as taking out the wastewater. Follow the instructions to mix, put it in your fresh water, wait some time until all of the salt crystals have dissolved, measure your salinity. As soon as it gets to that sweet spot, which is right around 1.023 or 1.024 if you're doing some corals, and then you can put it back in your tank. Again, I love to use Cove. They've got a really good brand of salt, and I'm sure you'll love it too.